most important things that a product manager or a product analytics guy should know when you are working in a startup which has a huge user base. This is the topic is funnels. Funnels are very much important. If you want to know, understand the scenario again. Too much scenario I have been giving you for the past few days, but bear with me. Consider that you're a product manager at a food delivery app and you generated a revenue of around 10 lakh in revenue yesterday. But today it's only 7 lakh. You see a drop in revenue from 10 lakh to 7 lakh. The marketing spent was the same amount yesterday and today. The number of visitors you were using the app were almost identical. So your DAO or daily active users was identical. So what happened? How did you miss those 3 lakh rupees today? If you are a product manager, you will not start guessing. Instead, you will try to investigate by not asking your tech team, but by yourself. Because you didn't do anything different than yesterday. No marketing campaigns were new, everything was working as always the same. But what happened today? So, the first thing that you would like to open is the analytics dashboard and look into something that would give you a clear picture of, and that is called as a funnel. Yes, a funnel. According to a funnel, it is exactly where users are dropping off in your product. It transforms a long list of users event into clear story, allowing us to identify where users lose interest, encounter friction, or abandon the cart. If you are able to identify the drop-off reason, why the what happened, what made the user abandon the cart, was there any payment failure, anything, the next step would be to go to a tech team and try to resolve that. If that's not the case, you will try to understand even much more better if you want to improve those conversion rates. Because if you are having a keen eye over the funnel, you would be able to improve the conversion rates and also the revenue and build a better product. So, going to the basic, what is a funnel? Like you can see, I gave an image out here of funnel. Like funnel, exactly that it is. A funnel is simply a sequence of events or steps that the users are expected to complete in order to achieve their goal. In this case, our goal was to make the user place that order, but the goals can differ, like signing up, purchase a subscription, applying for a loan, booking a hotel. There would be n things out here. In a digital product or an app or a web app, our users go through a sequence of actions. Take the food delivery example of we are where we are losing the revenue. The expected user journey that look like is this. Users open the app, they search for the restaurant, they open the restaurant page, they add the item in their cart, they proceed to checkout, and they complete the payment and order successfully placed. Now, not every user is completing all of these steps. Some users would leave the app immediately after opening the app or selecting the restaurant or adding the item in the cart. Some would be abandoning the cart even after initiating the payment page and not completing the payment. The funnel exactly helps you to uh, understand the drop off in each step, and there are ways through which you would be able to optimize these steps, which we will try to learn in the upcoming slides too. But instead of looking those millions of events at the same time, which is being triggered by n number of users, funnel is able to summarize how the customer journey looks like. So why do a funnel matters? If you know that your DAO is this much, it does not tell you a full story. But if you know that only 20% of the users who started the checkout actually completed the users, it tells you a lot of things, like which step loses most users, which step has the highest conversion rate, which device has the biggest drop off. See, you can also go with the type of device that they are using. If the drop off is 80%, so which device has the maximum drop off? Was it Android? What was it? iOS? Also, you can categorize those users into the channels through which you acquired them, so that you are able to improve the product even further. The funnel does not tell you why the user left. For example, if a user added something into his cart and did not do the payment, you simply know that these users added things into their cart and did not proceed with the payment. They do not tell you what was the reason behind it. That is the next step that you need to do, and you need to investigate. Let's go with the practical example before moving forward. Again, let's suppose that we have the food delivery app, and in a specific day, 100,000 users open the app, around, which are unique users, to be fair, out of which 85,000 users search for the restaurant. 70,000 users view the restaurant when they search the restaurant out there. Out of those 70,000 people went through the menu, added item to the cart. Out of those 42,000, 18,000 started the payment, and ultimately around 16,500 completed the payment. At first glance, you see that something interesting out here. You would be able to see the drop off, which is significantly higher between the step 3 and step 4, like viewing the restaurant and adding something to the cart. Uh, and also, adding the item to the cart and starting the payment method is significantly reduced, drastically reduced out here. So you know that these two funnels are the one in which we are basically seeing the highest drop off. And once you identify the drop off, you start working on it, and they becomes a priority. So you understand this. Funnels also define what is the priority you should look at. If a process has 7 steps and you see a drop in each and every step at the same time, you try to optimize those drop off, which has the maximum number of we will try to optimize those steps which has the maximum number of drop offs. Instead of improving everything in the application, you have identified these two things. Let's improve them. So if you try to investigate a little more further, like they searched for the restaurant but they did not add it something to the cart, what might be the issue? Maybe the menu are confusing, the delivery charges would be high, uh, a user does not trust the payment gateway. So there may be n number of ways through which you understand what needs to be done. Here's a real example that I worked with. I worked with a fintech firm which was serving users from the states. Among several products, I owned one of the product. I was an intern in that firm, but the product financials were too good. They gave me the access to own the whole auto loan product from my end. Uh, So before going forward, what is auto loan in that? So users who were interested in purchasing a vehicle could apply financing through our lending partners through our app. Our goal wasn't to simply to count how many users visited our page and were redirected to our partner, but also understand at each stage of the application how it looked like. So the funnel for our product looks like something this. They visit the auto loan landing page in our app. When they click apply, they were basically redirected to our partners page. They opened up the partners page and started the application. And since it states they had to give a few data from their side, like they needed to start the application, they needed to submit some personal information, employment information, some income details, because based on that they would be getting the loan, and the APR would be decided over that. Then they completed the application and they received a loan offer from the uh, our partner. So every step represents an opportunity to for the user to leave, and we knew that this all these steps were basically high friction part, and we needed to optimize for each and every step. Uh, if there were a lot of things that we did to improve this page. First of all, What we figured that out that after opening the landing lenders page, we saw a significant drop off of around, if I remember, around 40 to 45%. Uh, 45%. So user weren't proceeding with giving their information at the same time. And once, even though some users who given submitted their uh, employment information, uh, they weren't able to submit their income details. With later on, we figure that out the lender's page wasn't taking these details, so it was a tech problem from their end, and we saw a significant drop out here. We were able to figure out because a lot of users complain about the part, and that's that. So this is how the optimization works. If you want something, you need to go through each and every funnel, identify how the funnel is performing, identify each and every stages of that funnel. Uh, but one thing that you also need to understand that funnel doesn't end within analytics. You have the numbers, you see a drop off, you try to improve. Uh, in reality, funnel often is a starting point for customer engagement. For example, if someone leaves the cart empty or did not do the checkout, what would you do? You would persuade him. There are a lot of ways through which you are able to persuade the users. Uh, but let's think of this way. A funnel, instead of waiting tomorrow, product can respond in real time, which we have discussed in our previous segments also. How do we segment the users at the same time? Uh, uh, what you can do if you are having an app is that every time a user does not do a specific step, you can make him part of a journey. We will discuss later what journey is, but you can send him a push notification reminding him that the payment has failed. Uh, you can also send him an email based on what kind of app you have, and you can also use platform like WhatsApp to remind the users at the same time. The objective remains simple: that move the user back to the funnel, help them to complete the next step. Uh, uh, Funnels only tell you where the user leaves, but after the funnel part, the campaign part is the one which help you bring back the users to your platform at the same time. So funnels are everywhere. Once you begin thinking in funnel, you will notice that every digital product and e-commerce, Netflix, Spotify, food delivery apps, fintech, insurance, everyone have optimized their funnel, not and the optimization is a process is a recursive one. You learn from the mistakes, you try to optimize each and every steps at the same time, and which also leads you to a meaningful user actions and also to a business goal at the same time. So key takeaway is that uh, 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 a funnel is a most valuable tool available to product managers. Um, uh, if if and you can make funnels anywhere. If you are using any omni-channel marketing tool, you can use the funnel in that, or you can write SQL queries. And with the help of AI, it's pretty much easy for you to write SQL queries. Just in case you need to know the events that you need to track out here, you need to identify where the users are basically dropping off and try to improve that drop off rate so that it's able to increase the revenue and the conversion at the same time for each and every funnel. Uh, Understand that funnel is one of the foundational skills of product analytics, and it took me around a year to understand this. And once I knew this, it became pretty important in my day-to-day task. Even though I work with a B2B firm, funnels are an important part of my life too. It's pretty interesting. And yes, next we will meet again. If you have any queries or you would like to add something, or if I did a mistake out here in any part of this, you can surely give me a heads up. I will try to answer those. And yeah, cool. Have a great day.